Hi, and welcome back to Life Hope Talks. I'm Selena. Today's video gives you 3 tips on preparing yourself for your closure conversation. It's good to be prepared so that when you have that final conversation with your exeter, you can get your questions and say the things that you want to say. Because remember, your emotions will be flowing, will be pretty high. You may feel different ways, but the whole goal of being able to talk with your exeter, the person who has abruptly left your life, is for you to get those questions and say those final things that you want to get out. And you want to precisely do that. So today's video hopefully will be a help to those of you who are fortunate enough to have that last conversation. So the first tip is to adjust your expectations. Expectations are so important because that lies within us. It's us believing how something will happen. So we have to really adjust our expectations because you don't know what your exeter might say. You don't know if you're going to get 5 minutes, 2 minutes, an hour. You really don't know. But if you allow your mind to really run wild and you plan it all out in your head, it just very likely it will not work out the way that you think it should work out. So lower your expectations. Go in there or have that conversation with the goal in mind to ask your questions as best as you can, and then to say some of those things that you want to say. And also expect your exeter's emotions to be, stirred up where he or she might not be able to continue the conversation with you. They might decide to hang up, or your exeter may get a little angry or get emotional. You just don't know. But if you go into that conversation with expectations up to here, but in reality, what happened is down here, then you set yourself up to be disappointed. And that only adds to the difficulties of you moving on and being able to heal. So adjust your expectations. That is 100% within your realm of control. The second tip I have is to write down your questions. Take some time, depending on how much time you have, to talk with, before you meet with your exeter. Take some time to write down your questions. Write down your talking points. Because again, your emotions are going to be stirred, and you may feel very nervous, or you may begin to feel angry because it's just so much you want to say. Write it down so that way, regardless of where the conversation goes, you have things that you know that are important to you to have to bring up so that the two of you can talk about it in that conversation. Because it's nothing like having that opportunity, and then when the opportunity is over, you start replaying it in your mind, and then you start thinking, oh, well, I should have asked this. I wanted to ask that. I wanted to say this. So writing it down can help you kind of stay on point with the things that you want to say, and you just getting what you need, and the closure conversation benefiting you in such a way that it helps you to move on. The third tip I have is to have your support system on standby. Because again, you really don't know how the conversation is going to go. You would like to think it will be nice and calm, and both of you can be rational, and you'll be able to ask questions and he or she will answer them seamlessly, and like the conversation will kind of flow how it needs to flow, but at the end you've gotten everything you wanted to get out of the conversation so that you can be more at peace and move on. But remember, it might not go that way, you know. So have your support system on standby. Have your mother, your cousin, your brother, whomever on standby. So afterwards, if you feel yourself just really starting to have a hard time again, or really begin to struggle after that conversation, and you just need that support, your support system already know that you are having this conversation. So they know to keep their phone near them, or they know to call you at a particular time to check in on you. But have your support system in place in case you need to talk. And it's okay that once you finish the conversation with your exeter, you don't feel like talking. That's okay too. Just let your support system know, you know, maybe say something like, hey, I'm having my meeting with, I'm getting closure today from so and so. I just need you to be by your phone, you know, all day in case I need you, because I really don't know how this is going to go. So then that way your support system know that this is something that's significant to you, and to make sure that they're available. So that way when you reach out and try to connect with them, they will be available to comfort you and help you through. And again, it's okay that once you have your conversation, you don't want to talk. You may not want to talk for the rest of the day. You may want to talk the next day. Just communicate that to your support system so that they're not wondering what happened. Are you okay? So if you don't feel like talking afterwards and you just kind of want to sit down and think about the conversation for a little bit, or you just want to kind of make peace with what he said, what she said to you, that's okay too. Just remember to have your support system ready and let them know, communicate with them, letting them know that you're okay, or you need a little bit of time, or you'll call them first thing in the morning or later tonight, or whatever the case is, so that way you can have what you need. Again, the closure conversation is a big deal. And if you are among the fortunate to have that conversation, go in it being prepared as best as you can. Okay, you don't know 100% how you're going to react, whether you're going to break down and cry, or if you're going to be angry and maybe start cursing, or if you're going to get really nervous and your voice starts shaking. Like you don't know until that time comes. But it's great to prepare yourself as much as possible, especially with those supports, because again, this is someone who has abruptly exited your life that you valued, and you're going through this grieving process. So have your supports in place and look to get as much as you can out of the conversation. And also, just kind of to highlight for you something to think about, if you go into the conversation with an attitude and you're starting out cursing him out, cursing her out, then it's likely the person is going to hang up, or they're going to get up and walk out. So try to focus on you getting what you need, taking advantage of the opportunity to ask your questions, even if it's just one main question that you want to ask, or if there's just one long paragraph that you want to say and then you're done with it. That's okay too. Just go in it as best prepared as you possibly can, so that you can get what you need and end that part of your life. I hope you found this video helpful. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Please don't forget to subscribe and to hit that like button for me. Also, I'm on Instagram and I'm starting to post stories there, so you can get to know me over there. The information is down in the description. Thank you very much for watching today, and until next time, please take care of yourself.